And finally, we go back to Penzance to learn about the scandal known as quota hopping, one of the most damaging aspects of the common fisheries policy as far as our local fishing industry is concerned.
So let's hear it for true, His army never die.
We're here in Penzance in Cornwall. Behind me you can see the small harbour where the fishing fleet comes in. We're here to talk to fishermen and other people involved in the fishing trade about the Better Off Out campaign, Save Britain's Fish. Here's a booklet that we've produced giving our a background briefing on it. And one of the aspects we're going to be talking about is to do with fishing quotas, and in particular with quota hopping. Now, back in 1983, when the European Union's common fisheries policy was dividing up how much fish different countries can catch, Britain started off with 80% of the fishing stocks, and yet we were allocated only 37% by volume and a mere 12% by value of the stocks that overwhelmingly were British. Now, that was bad enough, but even worse was to come. Foreign fishing boat owners started buying up British quota, and they were bringing over boats from Spain, from France, and claiming that they were British ships and registering them in British ports such as Penzance here, even though they never come here, the crews aren't registered here, the ships never put in, and yet they were registering them as if they were British ships. That was known as a practice known as quota hopping. The British government passed a law making that illegal and saying that only ships that put into British ports and had British crews could register as Britain. But the European Union overruled that. It was a case that went to the European Court of Justice, well, so-called justice, and they decided that no, a ship can call itself British even if it's got nothing to do with Britain. It isn't owned by a British company, it isn't crewed by British. And in that way, the already tiny British quota that we're allowed to fish was reduced even more. There was a case in 2012 when two Spanish ships that was pretending to be British were fishing from the British quota were hauled up in court for using illegal fishing gear, and Greenpeace issued a statement at the time which said, given that these fishermen were operating on British quota in British waters and had received millions in subsidies, little of the benefits would ever be fed back into the UK economy. The system is skewed in favour of powerful industrial scale fishing companies, where it should be supporting our own inshore low impact fishermen. They make up 77% of the UK fleet, but get access to only 4% of the UK quota. So it's not just us saying this, Greenpeace agree as well. The current situation is a complete scandal. But if Britain were to leave the European Union, we could leave behind the iniquities of the common fisheries policy, have our own fishing policy, support our fishermen, conserve our fishing stocks, improve the marine environment, and basically everyone would be a winner, except, as Greenpeace says, the powerful industrial scale fishing companies from abroad. Bit of a no-brainer if you ask me. We should vote to leave the European Union.